These are frequently asked questions, and we'll get these questions all year long, and they're answered all here on the website. And I know there's some other questions that tend to come up that are not really covered. So please email Jeremiah at northnationalhoops.com or Jamie at northnationalhoops.com, and you guys can ask us questions, or if you have any concerns, just let us know. And we're going to start with a question that's actually not on the website. We've had a coach that says they know they're allowed to have 2 assistants, and one of their assistants is an 8th grader who was a former player. How did they register them? Well, here's the thing. You do not have to register your assistant coaches, okay? And even with that assistant coach being an 8th grader, that's okay as well, because you, the head coach, you are personally responsible for your assistant coaches. We are not responsible for any background checks. We are not responsible for basically anything concerning your assistant coaches. You are responsible for them, which leads me also to their conduct. They fall under the same conduct for coaches that you do. So when you check that box, you're not only checking that box for yourself, you're checking that box for whoever you decide to let you help coach. So make sure you're choosing somebody that you know you can coach with, that is going to basically stay seated, who understands the rules, who understands their role as an assistant coach. Now, if they get a technical, same thing has to happen. We'll give them some grace, but if they get 2 technicals and they get ejected, it's the and or for the training. Now, we didn't cover this earlier, but this is always something. What happens if a coach, head coach, or an assistant gets ejected twice? And you have the answer to that.
Well, because we are allowing a little grace on the first ejection with the sportsmanship class that they can take to be eligible for the next game, that's strike 1. Strike 2 is actually strike 2 and 3.
Right.
So the second ejection is a disqualification for the remainder of the season.
Now, if let's say that a head coach has an assistant coach who gets ejected, correct, and then they get ejected again, is the head coach ejected for the rest of the year? How do we handle that?
So the assistant coach at that point is done, but the head coach is not allowed to replace that coach with another coach. So now if they had 3 coaches, they would just be down to 2.
Right. We hope that you guys all listen to that one, because that's a very key component to your game day experience, is making sure that you choose the right assistant coaches.
Well, and there's one thing I would like to add to that, is that if that assistant coach, which I would like to tell you that we have not had this
ever,
case, but if an assistant coach were to be ejected or the head coach were to be ejected, you're not just ejected and disqualified for the season for coaching the games. You are not allowed to come to the games for North National Hoops.
Nor can you come to practices.
You are anything associated with our insurance, you are no longer allowed to be a part of.
And so speaking of insurance, that's another frequently asked question. We get questions all the time, that people want information about insurance so they can go practice at gyms. So that information is on the website as well. Tell everybody how you handle insurance.
So basically, any practice facility that you're practicing at, most of the gyms are covered under our insurance. We've issued a certificate of insurance for the gyms. It can be it's located on the website under gym certificates. But if you are practicing at a facility that is not located or not listed on the website, you need to contact us. Contact me, contact Jamie. Let us know the name of the facility, the address, who the contact person is, so that we can get that issued and put up on the website for everyone to have.
All right, so here's another question, and I'm reading from the website. Coaches, I really suggest that you guys go and comb through that. You'll have you'll have less problems this year if you know our website, because Jeremiah's done a great job of putting a lot of information on there. And most of all your questions can be answered right there on the website. No need to email him, no need to email me, because most of the questions and most of the things that you need to know are on the website. So here's the next frequently asked question. Are jerseys included in the team fee, and can I have a sponsor to help pay league costs? Hey, you can have as many sponsors as you want to. Your jerseys can look like a NASCAR race car. That doesn't matter to us, okay? If you want to lower your costs, that is fine. Jerseys are definitely not paid for by the league. You guys have to come up with them yourselves. Speaking of jerseys, we talked about it earlier. You need to have 2 sets of jerseys or a reversible jersey, right, a dark side and a light side. Now, we didn't talk about this. We really want you guys to have basketball numbers, okay? And I'm going to let Jeremiah go over that about basketball numbers. The thing that I want to make sure that you understand is that there needs to be a number on the front and a number on the back, not just a number on the back, okay? It speeds up the game. How does it speed up the game? The referee doesn't have to get behind the player or tell the player to turn around to get the number. He can see the number whether it's on the front or on the back. You tell us a little bit about what's an official basketball number.
Sure. So official basketball number starts with 5, goes to 10, to 15, on to 55 in increments of 5. Those are official numbers. Now, obviously, there's going to be several of you that do not have official basketball numbers. And I get that question a lot. What happens? They're nervous about it. What are we going to get in trouble for? We don't penalize the team. We don't penalize the player. We just ask. It's one of those things that we would love for people to do because it just makes the game easier. It's just like putting the numbers on the front and back. Are we going to penalize you for not putting the numbers on the front? We're not. But as a gameplay, the flow of the game, do officials appreciate it more? Does the scorekeeper appreciate it more? Yes, we all do. So, spend that extra couple dollars, put that number on the front if you can. I know some of you probably already have got your jerseys and you're listening to this and you're going, oh no, I've messed up. No, it's okay. Just know that once you've heard it, now you're kind of responsible for it next year.
So 0 through 5, 10 through 15, 20 through 25, 30 through 35, 40 through 45, and 50 through 55.
I think I said it wrong a second ago.
You did a little bit, so I just wanted to correct them.
Thank you.
But that is basically correct basketball numbers.
Correct. Does the NNH provide practice facilities? Absolutely not. We do a great job of just trying to get facilities for the games. I wish we could get practice facilities for people, but we leave that up to the teams, and most of you guys know that by now, but it is a question I get every year, definitely early on in the year. But yeah, like I said before, the insurance certificates are on the website. Those are the places that people have been contacted that they have been using the gyms, so that's always a good place to start for more practice times.
Do we take schedule requests? The answer to that simply is no. However, there's an exception. If you are coaching 2 different teams in our league, we're going to make sure that you're not doubled up. And then also, if you're a high school or middle school coach, then we're going to make sure that sometimes there needs to be a workaround around some of your schedules where you might be playing a game on a Saturday. We will definitely help you with that. But in most cases, we don't do that because if we did that, we've tried to do that before, and it is just a major headache, and it usually just gets messed up. So it's just easier to say no, and here's your schedule, and here's where you play. If you have a player who's also playing in the rec league and playing in our league, we've actually had people say, hey, can you change our schedule because we're playing. That's just one of those things, you're just taking a chance. So we hate that. We love the fact that you have players who are trying to get better and they're playing in 2 different leagues. It's just that it's hard enough to work around our gym schedules. It's really hard to work around the rec's schedules. So just understand that probably both of those schedules are set in stone and there's no change in them. So you might have a player that misses a game if they play in both leagues.
Yep. Well, my last question kind of touches on that same thing. So last question, are players allowed to play in multiple divisions? So the answer to that is yes. Players are allowed to play up in a division, but they're not allowed to play down. So in theory, a 2nd or 3rd grade boy could play in the 4th grade division, the 5th grade division, and the 6th grade division. But a 6th grade boy would only be allowed to play in the 6th grade boys division. Now, that kind of ties into a little bit of your schedule request. Every year we have someone, 1 or 2, play on multiple teams in different divisions. We do not alter the schedule for them. We let them know that you're welcome to play in multiple teams. However, there is a chance that those 2 teams could play at the same time. And that's just a risk you have to take.